reviewing the news, pop culture, video games, movies, and shoes. Quincy and Justin with a nerdy forecast. So stay a while and welcome to the Ugly Mugs Podcast.
Welcome to the Ugly Mugs Podcast. I'm your host, Justin.
And I'm your other host, Quincy.
How you doing, Q?
It's hot.
It's hot. Still no AC over there, but at least it's
We're
been
at a
somewhat
month.
adequately cool.
Yeah, I gotta say the last 2 days with all that rain and everything was great. The house was a perfect temperature. It did get a little humid in the house at one point, but the fans got everything moving pretty good. But no. The parts officially ordered, so it's just at this point I'm at the mercy of shipping. And then the installation process should take the guy about 5 minutes because it's just the compressor.
Yes, let's hope that it gets repaired toot sweet very quickly. Yes. Drinking anything special?
I have a Pete's coffee, but I don't remember which one. It's the Keurig, but I don't remember which version of Pete's. So some form of Pete's coffee.
Oh, okay. That's me. I'm just drinking water with a little bit of flavoring in it, and it'll do for this. I've been drinking way too much water. I should probably switch back over to like teas or something, but I digress. No,
That's the other thing is we're out of water in the house, and so it's been like oh hey, what do we got? Sugar-free sodas, Frescas, and coffee. Oh, and coffee creamer if I want to just drink that straight. So I need to do some shopping or something.
that's fair. You're in the Twitch right now, yeah?
Yeah.
Can you tell what I've been obsessed with very recently?
Is it 33 Immortals? Is that the name of the game? 33 something.
No. Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Expedition 33. There you go. I didn't know the Claire Obscure part, but I knew it was something 33 or 33 something.
Correct. And I gotta say, going into it, knowing everything that I did, only a fistful of individuals and a writer from Reddit, a composer from SoundCloud, and just a fistful, just a bare minimum, I believe 33 developers working on Claire Obscure. And a fistful of really good voice actors. Holy shit. Ben Stark, Charlie Cox. The list goes on. And I have to say, I was merely 3 hours into this game before I was like, yeah, I'm going to probably get through this game. This is fantastic writing. This is fantastic combat system.
I do love some really good writing.
Yeah, and the head director was a worker at Ubisoft who said he was very bored and was glad to start up on this endeavor, as well as outsell Ubisoft's latest game, Assassin's Creed Shadows, by over, at this point, right now, being 11 days of release, by $12 million and selling at $20 less than Shadows at base price. And I'm just like, fuck. If you can make a game $50 and make it fun and make it nice, people will buy it. I guarantee it. If this wasn't on Game Pass, it would have definitely been on the list. Guaranteed. This is a fantastic game. I give it a 10 on 10, and I'm not even done.
I'm glad you're liking it. I've been seeing some good stuff about it. I haven't gotten around to this one yet. I played South of Midnight for about a day. Not like a full 24 hours, but I turned it on in the afternoon and played it into the evening. And based off the chapters, I think I'm about halfway through the game. But I've enjoyed that one. I've enjoyed the writing. I've enjoyed the art. The combat is pretty normal, pretty direct. But yeah, the storyline's been very interesting on that one. So I think after I get through that one, I think my next venture. Let's see what we got on Game Pass. Did we get anything new on Game Pass?
I have the list of what's coming. I mean, soon we're getting Dark Age.
Yeah. Apparently we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutants Unleashed. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2.
Yeah. I would prefer Fighter Z, but here we are.
Yeah, I'm still hoping that Star Wars Outlaws is just gonna hit Game Pass, so that I
that
don't have to buy it.
that is fair.
I don't know, man. Oblivion might be my next one, but that one's gonna be a big one, so I don't know if I want to take that on right now.
I mean, good news, it's one of those that even if you drop it for a while, you can hop right back in and be like, what was I working on? Well, I'll just go over here and futz around until I either remember or find a new path. Um, they have so much of content that you could just wander off and do that it's a little bit. It was what kind of built the Fallout. I would say probably around Fallout New Vegas, where you can just go run into someone and be like, "Hey, there's an event over here. There's a dispute you need to help out with."
I mean, you kind of have that in Fallout 3.
You kind of more so in New Vegas, but the Oblivion has it to the level of this shit's crazy because magic also exists. You also could be either very helpful or help the other side. So I hope you pick up Oblivion. Honestly,
Yeah, probably at some point.
Mhm.
I had time where I actually had time to sink into a game because that day that I played South of Midnight, I don't even know how long ago that was. That was probably like last Thursday.
Okay,
Probably
okay.
been about a week since I actually played anything.
I mean, I'm
And
happy that
prior to
you're playing
that, I
games.
don't know. Yeah, it's just, work, life, all that stuff.
That's fair. Um, something of also interest about Claire Obscure Expedition 33. It hit number one for classical albums on the Billboard Top 100, and then I believe it hit 63 on the actual Billboard Top 100 or Hot 100. So congratulations to Lorraine Testard, for orchestrating a fantastic, just luscious, orchestrated like even the combat music is it's not orchestra, it's very synth pop. It's a very new sound, and I frankly have never heard anything like it. I enjoy every aspect of this game, including the music, and I'm happy to see that it's getting its just desserts. Uh, but over to Humble Choice, it updated with some fucking bangers. Starting off with the Thaumaturge, a game I've been kind of on my wish list for a while, but I was like, I don't really want to spend the money. Now I can spend the money while I was helping out charity. You play as a guy who is kind of like a mill doctor who reads the stars, but the stars are kind of wanting to fight back, and there's something afoot in the negative parameter. And you have to figure out mysteries while also having demons on your back. I actually really enjoyed that aspect of it. Game number two, Amnesia, the Bunker, the finale of the Amnesia series, where you play a World War I survivor who is in the middle of an anomalous scientific area and shit creepy. But it's a lot of walking back and forth and solving little bits and clues. It's a very simplified version of the original Amnesia.
Do you
Third
get to
up,
fight in this one?
you get a gun, but very limited ammunition.
Mm.
Because, I mean, back then, bullets were also very costly to
Yeah, you know
make.
how I feel about games like this, though. I don't, I like to be able to fight. I don't like games where the concept is run and hide. That's why the original Amnesia never worked for me.
That is fair. Running has always been the more scary game's approach as of lately, with Soma, one of the classics from, what was it? Machine Works? Machine? No. I forget who develops Amnesia. But even still, the developers of
I
Amnesia
don't
has
remember.
usually, like when I played Soma, I really enjoyed that. I really
Yeah, I
thoroughly
only
enjoyed
ever
Soma.
played the first Amnesia. I even do Machine to Pigs because I was like, there's not going to be any point. I didn't like Amnesia. I'm not going to like this.
That's fair, but Soma was a fantastic storytelling game. It had minimal scares, but a lot of stealth was incorporated. A lot of talking. But
I didn't get into Outlast. Like Outlast and wasn't for me.
You just had a camera. What are you gonna do with that?
A
Uh,
camera and a lot of penises in your face.
a lot. Yeah, they even in the friggin' Outlast trials, the excess game.
Was
Yeah,
there?
no, yeah, a little bit.
It's,
You can play
this is
co-op in
made
that,
by
and
George
you
R.
can
R. Martin.
you and a friend can enjoy it. Third game up, Evil West. I was not a fan of this one. It's a what I like to call an arena brawler, very reminiscent of Devil May Cry 1 and 2, where you hop into an arena, beat up some of these villains,
I've
devils.
seen this one on things. I've never actually seen gameplay. I've only ever seen like the poster.
I believe this one is on Game Pass as well.
If it's not on Game Pass, it was a Games with Gold before they ended that. But I think it is Game Pass. I think you're right.
Yeah, it is fun for a nice little romp, but the story is asinine. Do not go in expecting a fun story. It is very, I am here to hunt a thing, but I don't know. I'm always here doing this sort of thing, like Van Helsing, but less plot. I guess is the best way of putting it.
I didn't
Uh,
play Van Helsing either.
Fair enough. Shadow Gambit: The Cursed Crew. This one's a nice little stealth strategy style game. When I looked at the video for it, I was like, maybe, maybe this might get a download and a play. This seems very interesting, very tactics based. A little bit of magic, a little bit of mystere. It's a pirating adventure with a nice landscape. I do like all of the areas that you pop around in, and you build each and every one of your cursed characters with very specific stats that can help out or hinder in the long run. One that is on Game Pass, Euden Chronicle 100 Heroes, reminiscent of Suikoden, the old PS1, PS2 genre where you recruit a lot of people and you can pick your party to help balance things out. The thing with Euden Chronicle, though, is there's shark people, dog people, animalistic types, and this
Crab people. Crab
I
people.
wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. However, the completionist for Euden Chronicle is 111 hours. So this is a big, bulky game. Be prepared to really sweat if you want to get into the Euden Chronicle stuff. But from what I've heard, the music, as you can see, the pixel art and the 3D assets are actually really nice to look at. I, I've been told to play this one, but as said, me and JRPGs have been kind of rough. But with my interest in Expedition 33, we'll see. We'll see. Badu. One that was helped out by both New Blood and Night Dive Studios, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, where you play as Jango Fett.
I have this, I think.
You play as Jango Fett doing a whole bunch of either hunts or getting screwed over by either Jedi or the Sith, and needing to either survive or capture your quarry. I played a little bit of this one back in early 2002-ish. I remember getting the start of the collection back in the day, so I do own this already. I don't remember much from it. I know it's one of the better Star Wars games. That's all I know. But
Yeah, I don't really remember anything from it.
Ultros, a platforming adventure with a psychedelic color scheme. I really enjoy its art, but I feel like this would give me a headache after a little bit with the first couple of bosses that you see in the trailer. However, it does have a very black light inspired color scheme, and
This looks kind of sick. Kind of like the artwork.
mm-hmm. Uh, and its words, not mine. The sarcophagus, a giant space drifting cosmic uterus holding an ancient demonic being. I can't make that story up, so if you happen to be interested in this one, by all means, grab it. And last but not least, an interesting fighting game that kind of mixes in an Indifference and Dark Souls. Watching the trailer for it, I still didn't quite understand, but holy crap, did it look very unique. I'm probably gonna download it just based off of its speculation and crafting, because it has like builds you can do, and you revive things, and when you revive things you can level them up and begin to put them together, and they can decay over time or gain injuries. So it's a little bit more survival horror in an aspect that you're a necromancer, but you have limited resources. And I was like,
Interesting.
yeah, I was like, I'm gonna grab this one. Um,
Is this an older one?
it looks it, but no, I believe.
The graphics is why I was asking. The graphics are kind of throwing me off.
Let me do a dance. Let me see. I believe 2024 was when it did version 1.0, which is very less than a year ago.
I mean, they just went with a specific art style then.
It's not bad, but very PS2.
Yeah, that's kind of I was kind of feeling PlayStation 2 with it. Yeah, it's not a bad thing. I was just
No.
curious if this was older or not.
And I mean, it's got motion blur. When they get destroyed, they turn into like puffballs, which is a bit weird. But it's got this immersion that I couldn't quite shake watching the trailer. And last but not least, if you happen to be a fan of IGN's news stories, because they bombard you with a lot of emails, you can get IGN Plus, which gives you a whole bunch of freebies as well as chances to win certain giveaways, such as Jay and Silent Bob Mall Brawl. You can get a free copy of it, or the physical NES copy of it with
Wait, really?
giveaways. Yeah, with the giveaways.
Oh, damn! Because I bought when that was first announced, I bought the
Limited run.
the Switch version.
Oh yeah.
Because I wanted to get the NES one, but I decided to buy the Switch version instead, and I should have bought the NES. I still kick myself for that. Although the Switch version did come with the sleeve, like it was a classic NES game, which I liked.
I wish more games would do that if they have that old retro style. But it also has like old, interesting closed beta keys, games that are in its indie scenario, and it has a very numerical amount of giveaways over the course of time, or just freebies to add on to certain games. I think they had like something for Elder Scrolls Online and so on, but they have better, not better news stories, but more concise news stories if you're happening to want very specific things, such as my game DNA, things that I grew up playing, and then how it influenced my choices of gaming today, written by someone who is working on that sort of stuff. But you get a free month of IGN Plus with the humble choice. Not a bad set of games. This is actually probably one of the best months I've seen in a short time. And
what we didn't grab was the Prime Gaming.
Oh, the Prime Gaming, right. I believe I saw a couple drop on those. I will grab those in a sec.
Yeah, so I've got it up right now if you want me to just read them off real quick, because it's only a few.
Go for it.
So we did get the first, I think it's the first, Styx Master of Shadows. That one's GOG. We got Minecraft Legends for the Xbox, Minecraft Legends for the PC. Those are already collected on mine, so I feel like those already came, but they're after Styx on the list, which is weird. There was also something called the Invisible Hand, but that's just through Prime Gaming, so you don't actually claim it. But for Star Wars, because of May the 4th, they did do Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds Saga through GOG, and they did Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, so that's the original version, the original Complete Saga version, not the Skywalker Saga later on. Also through GOG. And then they advertise that you can do a bunch of different shit on the Luna. But yeah, it was just those.
Okay, not bad. Sorry, thought I was gonna sneeze. The charity that this month's Humble Bundle choice helps out with is Comic Relief, the Red Nose Day. Red Nose Day helps out children in need by offering the red nose something to laugh at, but also helping them with poverty, medical, and forget the third one. I believe it's school lunches, but I'm not 100% on that one. But even still, Red Nose Day has been going on for the last 7 years, and every year
No, it's gotta be more than that.
I can remember 7. As far as what my contribution is, we'll go with that, because 7 years ago was when Walgreens popped in, and I worked.
Yeah, no, 20. Let's see. National Red Nose Day is an annual fundraising event that encourages people to wear red nose. It originally created in 1988.
When I was born? Oh.
Um,
Well,
yeah.
well then I
It
helped
became
out for
it
the
looks like
last
it
7
became a
years.
national. It got added to the national calendar at one point. Maybe that's what you were thinking. That's for
Okay.
Canada.
Oh, Canada. But even still, for the last 7 years, I've been helping out with Red Nose Day. I've always strived to do better every year up until my inevitable leaving of my that job. Um, but I'm glad that they have partnered up with Humble Choice to make it available to be continuously helped out. Another Humble Bundle. 9 Circles of Bullet Hell, a survivors bundle, vampire survivors and the like. Bullet hells have kind of etched my little DNA for the while. Ikaruga and the sort, where I do enjoy bullet hells. I just feel like I've fallen out of them recently, just because I'm like, ooh, too many colors on screen. But if you happen to be a fan of them, this might be a good bundle for you because it's only $10 to get 9 pretty good looking games. Vampire Survivors, of course, is leading off. Uh, Pika Pika Yune Dreams, a trippy bullet hell heaven/hell with a heavy surreal nightmare motif. Looking at this one, um, yeah, nah, this is what I mean by it's a bit. Here, let me go into H. Is it in HD? It should be in HD. Motherfucking. There we go. Yeah, nah. That just looks like it was a bit much when I happened to glance at it.
Yeah, no fucking way am I handling that. Holy shit.
Yeah. Oh boy. Genome Garden. This one looks a little bit more softer, but still bullet helly. When I looked at this one, I said, man, like Vampire Survivor doesn't get this heavy. Why?
Dude, I struggle with Asteroid. Like, come on.
Atomicrops, which another one that actually it's more Vampire Survivor, so it's not as bad. It has interesting roguelite items, bits and pieces where you're growing your crops, the constructibles that you can have to continue on your runs, as it were, your improvements per run. I was like, this one actually not so bad for quote unquote bullet hell. It's not as bad as like Enter the Gungeon on hard. I was like, okay, that one can stay. The Texorcist. This one's good if you happen to want to learn how to spell and be quick at it, I guess. Um, the Texorcist has been kind of in the genre for a while since House of the Dead Typing Edition back on the Dreamcast. And
No, I never played things like this, and after learning how to type, I always tried these games when I was a kid, and I couldn't fucking type. Um, so now here I am as an adult that can type pretty fast, and I should probably try one of these again.
yeah, Texorcist is a fun one. It's very lightweight. I'm sure your mini can handle that one, not a problem. I I might hop into one of these and give it a shot because you have to move while typing. And I'm like, if I'm spending one hand typing and moving, that's gonna be tough.
Yeah, that's gonna be really difficult.
So it's a nice experience. Patch Quest. This one I've played a little bit of through a cloud service. I think it was when I was fucking around on Nvidia, the GeForce Now, and they said, "Here, play this for 5 minutes, and we'll give you an hour of playtime." And I said, "Sure, I'll try this one out." And it loaded up instantly, and I had a good time with it. I forgot mentioning it, but it is very bullet. It is heavy bullet hell. Just the fact that you get to ride on a creature while also being a gunslinger was an interesting genre builder because each creature does a little bit of excess. You know, something to check out. AK Zolotl or Axolotl.
I was gonna
You
say I think it's Axolotl.
yeah, where you play
I
as
can't name though. So there we go.
and then you play as a happy-go-lucky Axolotl, and then just all of a sudden, gun. Very
The fire in the eyes.
yeah. It is very Enter the Gungeon. It does have that exact roguelite look to it. It even has the boss intros that make Enter the Gungeon. It's got that very interesting style, but it has a lot of charm to it. I own this one already, so if I happen to purchase this one may be a code I throw out to someone else because this one it looks fun. I have yet to download it, but I definitely need to get into it. Genesis Survivors, another one of these Vampire Survivor clones that have really interesting upgrade paths while also being a little more isometric and 3D. Um, Very vibrant compared to Vampire Survivor. I'm sure you could turn down the bloom a little bit, but this one looks fun. Looks fine, a little Mech Warrior ish, but fine. And last but not least, Survivors of the Dawn. This one, I saw how many people are on screen, and I said, "Ooh, this one would be kind of
Oh
fun
my
if."
god.
Yeah, I like having a lot of enemies on screen that you can easily take care of because that's just power fantasy of just what I'm sure a lot of guys like in a video game. Um, but once they start getting too difficult is where you're like, "Ew, these guys are taking more than 2, 3 shots to take out. Uh-oh." And so I'm very. This is another one that I would probably climb into just to take a peek at because I power fantasies. The charity that this helps out is Active Minds. Active Minds is a nonprofit organization promoting mental health for young adults between the ages of 14 and 24. Their focus is on changing the culture around mental health by changing the way we talk about, care for, and value mental health in our lives and in our communities. They also help out the Send Silence Packing, the suicide prevention exhibit, the Active Mind Speakers, which sends folks to schools to make sure that even those in schools have somewhere that they can talk about their issues. Doop. Doop. Game Pass is bringing out a truckload of games to Game Pass this month, and that first one, oh boy, I already have it on pre-download.
That's definitely going to be one of the ones that I grab.
Mm.
So maybe you're. I think you might be right. That might be where I go after South of Midnight.
Doom the Dark Ages. What a glorious game. They had 2 more trailers that popped out showcasing the new improvements on movement, and I said, you didn't have to sell me, you already sold me, so, I'm glad you're showing me what we already know. Next up on the game list is Revenge of the Savage Planet. I never really got down with the new co-op one. This one is, I believe it's entering early access, or is it finally hitting 1.0?
I'm not sure, but I do know that the story sounds kind of fun.
It does sound kind of fun, even though I did not really enjoy the first Savage Planet, but we'll see. We'll discuss it in a moment. But Culebra, Souls of Limbo, I did not take a look at this one, but it does have a very interesting art style, very snake looking. Hopefully it is kind of snake-ish. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I would have preferred Fighter Z, but here we are with Xenoverse 2. Teenage Mutant Ninja
I haven't played a Dragon Ball game since I rented games at Blockbuster.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that was a long time ago, Q.
It was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago, Q. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants Unleashed. This is the not latest beat 'em up style adventure, but the one just before, for of course the movie that dropped with it. I heard a lot of good things. Right? Yeah, it's a tie-in. I heard a lot of good things about this one. I might just grab it because it's not that big. Usually beat 'em ups aren't too crazy and outlandish. I heard they have mild roguelite elements included. So yeah, that's another thing to kind of keep replayability. 2 things of not too big of interest, but someone out there probably likes it. Firefighting Simulator, The Squad, and Police Simulator Patrol Officers. Not for me, thanks, but have fun. Going over to Warhammer Vermintide 2. I liked Vermintide 1. I don't know. Left 4 Dead clone. If you like Left 4 Dead, you'll like Vermintide. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, see, I didn't really like Left 4 Dead.
Okay. Well, then you may not like
I
Vermintide.
wanted a game where like I actually like achieved something more than just clearing the same 3 levels over and over again.
There's a few more levels in Vermintide, and there's a little
Like,
bit
it's
of
just that,
plot.
yeah, like there wasn't enough plot. I didn't really feel like you achieved anything. It was just like shoot everything and get to the extraction, and then shoot everything at the extraction, and then extract.
Yes.
I didn't care for that.
Yeah.
So I've never played Vermintide. It's been one of those ones I think I own in old games with gold that I've been putting off for years, and I think you just sold me on not playing it.
Yeah. That is just how it is. I wish I mean, Vermintide has also had a few events over the course of its time, so there is a little bit more content if you happen to want to at least take a glance at it. Next up is going over to the standardized. So yes, it already exists on Game Pass, but if you only have the standard edition, Dungeons of Hinterberg, Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn, and Metal Slug Tactics are going to be dropping onto the standard version of Game Pass. Which, not bad, not bad at all. I like Dungeons of Hinterberg. I should really get into that one. I have it downloaded.
What is Dungeons of Hindenburg like?
It is very airy, very floaty, very whimsical. I would call it like a hack and slash light because there's not really, it's not too ball busting, if that makes sense. Like I'd say it's a little more calm, and then you have kind of a explorer's gate to where you can go wander about and explore at your heart's content, because there is a few bits and bobs that I haven't really gotten into yet. I'm only maybe hour into the game. But I definitely need to go back after Expedition 33 is over, and maybe after Doom. Doom is definitely on that list.
Boom.
Okay, let me rub my face because I'm just gonna go as quickly through it as I can. Destiny 2: The Year of Prophecy was announced yesterday, and for an hour they explained to us what the Year of Prophecy is going to be giving us, both Prophecy and Renegade. The Edge of Fate drops July 15th, 2025, talking about how someone at the edge of time is reaching back at us and saying, hey, you gotta fix some shit. And that's pretty much all it gave us for right then and there. No, not really too many abilities, but there are some new bits and bobs, such as you could turn into, lack of better words, because I'm saying it, not them. You can turn into a morph ball, like from Metroid, and you can use that to kind of go around from bits and pieces. There's a new Sparrow type that has weaponry on the front called the Griffin. Um, there is what looks to be new bits and bobs for cosmetics, where the Titan gets capes, finally. The Hunter gets ponchos, and the Warlock gets like these cloak cowl hoods, like mage hoods. And I was like, okay, cool. And then they showed Renegades, which you hear the lightsaber proc off, and I'm like, you're actually giving us lightsabers? And then further down at the bottom, when it said Renegades coming December 2nd, at the very bottom it said Lucas Arts trademark Ltd, etc., etc. And I was like, oh, they did a handshake with LucasArts, with Disney. And so
Yeah.
with the Destiny 2 Year of Prophecy Ultimate Edition, you get the Dark Villains cosmetic pack, which has Kylo Ren as the Warlock, Darth Vader as the Titan, and General Grievous as the Hunter. You also get the new exotic that dropped, New Frontier, and holy crap, is it really fucking strong. You also get every season, you get the seasonal pass, you get cosmetic, all these nice little bits and bubbles, the dungeon that's going to be coming out later on this year. I was like, okay, they're really selling the new stuff. drop $100 though. That's the only thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not dropping $100. I've dropped a lot. I'm not dropping $100 just because they threw in lightsabers.
It's lightsabers and hints and bobs at the what is it called? The Renegade campaign, which is they even said in a twid or twab, no, it's twid now. That it is
The fuck is a twid?
this week in Destiny.
Oh,
Because now that they have now that they have a second game, it was like you know. Let me ban that guy real quick. Good work. Let me click that. There we go. But with the Renegades, and they said explicitly this is Star Wars theming, but with Destiny 2 plot and lore. And I said, okay, so we're getting like a spaghetti western or this is sci-fi western spaghetti. Yeah. And I was like, cool. And they said that they are going to be including a lot more cosmetics as the Renegades comes through. They said when you start up Renegades, there's going to be 5 new sets of armor that are going to be Star Wars inspired. So I was like, okay, it's not going to look exactly very similar to how you see Darth Vader's fucking helmet popping out. I said, fine. And then, the fucking you get Han Solo's blaster. I was like, fuck. That looks so good.
it does look good.
And then the lightsaber proc off. And then this shot of these speeders going toward a city with the sunset. And then, as I said, there's the Lucasfilm down at the bottom.
Yeah, I hate that it looks good. I fucking hate that it looks good because I'm just so done with Destiny.
Well, the good news, you can kind of leave it until September 9th when they do a full reveal of the Renegades. So you have a little bit of time before they even finalize some trailers and show you more of what's going to be actually in it. Because with this new season, or I should say this new year, they are doing a complete overhaul. They are doing Armor 3.0. They are changing everything you know about armor sets. So your armor will still be good, but now it'll have different stats. And instead of going to the 100, now you can go to the 200 and begin to build better things for the things you want to equate yourself with. More health, more damage, more weapon damage, or more super damage. How quickly your class ability will come up, etc., etc. And
like that's great for other players. I feel like it's just too much for me.
That's fair. That's 100% fair. I love build crafting.
It's a little too much management for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially from a game that I'm not going into for management purposes.
That is also fair. You're there just to beat ass. I mean, me too, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just want to beat. I want to beat ass efficiently. I guess I can say that.
No, yeah. And I definitely hit those points when they started doing, the weapon mods and whatnot, where I'm like, I feel like I'm not achieving anything anymore because I'm not doing the weapon mods, and it kind of sucks.
Yeah, and now those are going to be a little more integrated because now they said you can take everything up. You know how your armor only goes up to 10 power? Well, now they turn it up to 11. Woo.
It goes to 11.
Yeah, and I was like, that's cool and neat. And then they were like, well, now you can get rid of some of those outdated or outclassed because now they're just going to be intrinsically a part of the armor sets. And now when you build the entire armor set, instead of it just being you get better drops, no, you get perks when you build these sets. And I'm like, ooh, give me armor sets that actually would make me actually grind for them. Because that's what I did back in WoW. I would like to do that here and now. So they said,
that was kind of the thing is like, I liked, I was cool with like, oh, let me get a set. Let me, keep the armor I like by, infusing it with old armor. That was all fine. But then it started getting to a point where I was like, all right, this is getting more than what I care to function at.
That's fair. I mean, it started to, in the last 4 months, to kind of get that way where I'm like, I don't care. I have my armor set. I'm happy with it. I don't care about all these crush. Okay, this is a higher light level. Let me put it into what I already have. The new exotics have been fine, but not what I would particularly use, not my kit, you know? And then they're saying, well, if you want to do this subset of missions, you have to use weapons of sword and glaive. And I'm like, I don't use swords or glaives, but I'll do it for the quest. And then I reach 29% of that quest, and I'm just like, I've been punching most of these things. I'm not supposed to be punching, but this is my build. This is what I do. So it's been mildly annoying, but with the change and how they said that Armor 3.0 is going to bring a little bit more advancements to what you are wanting to build. They are saying weapons are going to be good, and they're doing weapon tiers. I didn't listen too much into the how the weapon tiers are going to be, but when you hit tier 5, which is their max, things are going to be a little bit different. Things are going to be a lot more stronger, and I'm curious to see when that drops, how things are going to relevate. They also said seasonal stuff is going to be free. However, if you get the seasonal pass, that's all cosmetics or quicker level ups, better loot, that kind of, or even just loot itself, bright dust and the such. So I said that's cool. You guys are offering the season passes just to be cosmetic based, and you are giving the seasons for free. You heard me right, folks. They are giving seasonal activities for free. You don't have to pay a single dime to hop into a seasonal activity anymore, which makes me happy. Speaking of which, they did talk a little bit about the solstice. Solstice is coming out as soon as. Shit! I had that on my list and it's not here anymore. Let me drag this out and wow, that you fuck. Move you over. I said move you over here.
You good, bud?
Yeah, Destiny Solstice 2025. Hang on, I gotta figure out where the fuck it is. I just need to find it because they are starting with holofoil weapons, and holofoil weapons. I'm trying to find because this was actually something that I saw. Okay, cool. I can drag it over. Hopefully, pop. Holofoil weapons, where it'll have a very unique skin filter to it. And this looks like water going up and down a beachfront. And I said, ooh, I wonder if I can add a shader on top of that to give it like a nice sunset glow to it. So
I do like that.
Yeah, they are adding a whole bunch of these within the coming year. They said a lot more is coming in Renegades, the second half of the year. They also said that come Renegades, there's going to be a lot of social additions, quality of life changes around Renegades. I know someone at Bungie is probably going to glance at this, but Bungie, add a fucking ping button. I have been yelling about it for the last 4 years of this game. I came back at friggin' Season of the Lost, and I've been like, how come we don't have a ping button? Like, in a game where I'm like, hey, look over here, and where? Where is the other person supposed to look? Give us a ping button.
Well, I mean, isn't loot separate for each person though? So like, a ping button isn't necessarily necessary.
Well, yes, but I mean, like, as far as puzzles and doing, like, dungeon mechanics
okay,
and whatnot. You know, that sort of stuff. Or, oh, hey, there's, a piece of lore that someone can claim over here type of thing. Because a couple of the dungeons, they also announced at the day of, yesterday, they said that the 3 main portion dungeons are now free to play. So even if you don't have the dungeon key, you can now go in and do Spire of the Watcher, Duality, I believe, and Warlord's Ruin, I believe. And good news, if you don't know the mechanics, there is an Explorer mode, which will show you the mechanics as you go along. But be prepared to get a little lost because they'll give you hints for the puzzles, but they won't show you the direct path out. But doop. All right. Over to an indie project by Zaum, the guys who did Disco Elysium, and they bring a very trippy trailer for Project C4. They said that they don't have a good name for it yet, but they are going to give you the premise. They have a new narrator, a nice female voice telling you about uh, propaganda, conspiracy, and other various little tidbits that are confusing, but at the same time, things you need to figure out. And just like Disco Elysium, the art is spectacular, surreal, and very wild. Um, I like Disco Elysium just because it spoke to the who do you want to really be of humanity, and giving another game that doesn't really explain what it is. From what I recall in another trailer, you play as an operator that is kind of an insurgent to middleman between a military and a rebellious group. And you're basically just trying to either calm down one side or heat up both, or something of the turns, because you have no stake in any of this. You're an outsider. So I'm very curious to see more for this, but I just wanted to show off this fucking brilliant looking art. Um, God. But dude, speaking of Disco Elysium, take Disco Elysium, take D&D 5th edition, and what do you get? You get Esoteric Ebb, a very simplified version of Disco Elysium, but with some 5th edition elements and rules, while also running into some pretty crazy characters. I played the demo for this, and I gotta say, it was actually kind of enjoyable. A lot of lore to learn that isn't what I know already, but it was fun. It was fine. You play as a cleric that doesn't exactly know why you died, but you died, and now you have to argue with yourself in order to figure things out. You think you would check this one out, Q?
Maybe. I do like the dice rolling thing. That looks cool.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I ran into a bunch of failures because I just built nothing but oh, that was another thing. During the opening credits where it was basically giving you the backstory, at the very end, I gave my character only 6 intelligent, and I was like, I don't need intelligence as a cleric, I don't really need that. And it says 6 intelligent cleric, no think, only do. And I was like, that's really adorable that they not necessarily mock you, but make a comment about it. Um, Apparently your story decisions do matter because I already made a few mess ups even during the demo. Speaking of which, you can grab the demo right now. It's fine. It's fun. Go and grab it. Now to get to some depressing little tidbits. Grand Theft
What are we
Auto.
doing? We're doing Crocs.
No, not yet. We're not in the bed up. We're not in the bed up yet.
Oh, you said depressing, so
Yeah. Grand Theft Auto 6 very recently said, and I quote, "We're pushing the game back to May 26th, 2026."
of course.
Of course. And then literally 2 days later, they drop a really good looking trailer. And I
I
said,
mean, I'm sorry. I'm starting to think that all they ever did was make trailers. They didn't build the game. They just built trailers.
they did just build trailers. Like, the game. If this is the game, it looks good. Just. Like, this looks really fun. So there's
It
been
does.
some there's been some
I love how
bits and,
shitty the cash register still is.
yeah. Um
Like they went, we're gonna make everything look pretty except the cash register. Fuck the cash register. Everyone's
yeah.
just gonna shoot it anyways.
This goes back to Vice City, but it also has the outcroppings of Vice City after the 70s when the original Vice City game came out. It has the
Or what
secondary
was said, not
what
coming
was
out.
that? Yes, you figured out what I meant. Um it has a whole new prison area. It's got a prison system. It has a lot more San Andreas style activities where you can build up your muscle or build up your fat if you continue to eat stuff randomly. There's
Nice.
a whole lot of excess missions that you can do very similar to San Andreas. Bar games, I believe darts. There's the SWAT minigame where you play as a SWAT member and basically do a lot of insider jobs. Just like regular GTA, there's a lot of story that is involved with either siding with police and being an insider agent or being a douchebag and doing your own thing. Um, I I I wanted to be excited for GTA 6, but alas, here we are
It's one of
waiting.
those things where I'm worried that the wait has been so long that no matter what we get, we're going to be underwhelmed.
Probably at this point. And Devolver Digital
I
even
know you can
made
be
another.
overwhelmed. I know you can be underwhelmed, but can you just be whelmed?
I guess. Hmm.
I'm quoting a movie.
Oh, what movie?
um. Uh. Is that Clueless? You know,
Oh,
my brain pulls movie quotes, but I don't always remember what I'm quoting. I want to say it's
that's
Clueless, but I could be wrong.
that's fair. But I guess you could be whelmed if you are expecting something like I guess Balatro. That makes me whelmed. It doesn't overwhelm me. It
It makes
doesn't
you
underwhelm
whelmed.
me. It makes me whelmed. It's what I
You're
expect.
content. You're at an even level.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt my head. It doesn't underperform. I feel like playing Balatro. I'll pull it up and I'll play around a Balatro and I'll close it down. I feel whelmed. But I guess I'll feel whelmed when GTA 6 pops out. But I am not buying it day one. I'm gonna let it sit. I'm gonna let some of the bugs kind of crawl out, if you know what I mean. Um, and Devolver Digital also made a tweet when they did a pushback and said we're still going to be releasing a game on the same day as GTA 6. And I was like, shit, did we just get the pushback of Hotline Miami 3 just because GTA 6 was pushed back? And I made that joke in another Discord and they said they better not have. And I was like,
They
if
just really want the competition for some reason.
Devolver really does not like. There's a couple people at Devolver that I think have an out for Rockstar games,
For
so
Rockstar, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they made a few enemies and so say, fine, we'll release a game on the same time. Let's see who does better. Type shit. Type shit.
Well, I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's not even a question as to who's going to do better. Like,
Mm.
nothing against Devolver. It's just it's GTA 6, man. Like,
It
it's
is.
so built up at this point. It's going to outsell
If
anything
it
else that comes at the same
if
time.
it's Hotline 3, I don't
It
know.
doesn't. I would be. I would put money on that.
That's
I
fair.
would put money that GTA 6 would outsell Hotline if they came out the same day.
Yeah. There's a huge fan base in GTA. There's still a huge player base on GTA 5 online
Because
right
even
now.
I am sitting here going, I kind of want GTA 6.
The same. There's a little bit of me. It's just a little frustrated that we have to wait another year. I'm not buying it day one, but that will be an inevitable purchase after all the bugs got squashed. But dude, you know what bugs did get squished though? The ones in Gears of War and Gears of War Reloaded popping out, and everybody's actually super excited. The few people who are not excited are the people who are going to be going in the Gears of War 4 multiplayer up against those that run shotguns. Yeah, there's a lot of people who have posted and said please change how movement works in Gears of War Reloaded. And they said Cliff Blazinski, I believe, also had mentioned that no, nothing is changing. Just a few graphical ups, some sound cues. Everything stays the same. I believe it also has 4K resolution now. It is also dropping on PC and PlayStation 5, which is not a first for Microsoft, who's playing nice in the sandbox. But hopefully, Sony begins to play nice in the sandbox, get us some of their exclusives in return, such as Spider-Man 2 or the God of War
They released the
series.
PC. Yeah,
Right.
they're releasing those to PC. I think that's as close as we're gonna get. I don't think they're gonna make an actual Xbox version.
Well, Sony, you're right. Sony's allergic to money because if they wanted money, they would have dropped.
Yeah, I mean, just look at how
Bloodborne.
they react to just the concept of crossplay. You know?
Yeah, and Bloodborne. They're just like Bloodborne. No,
Yeah.
no, 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 no,
You
no.
want frames per second? No.
No. You want a remake of this really nice game that everyone is asking? No. No, no, no. Any other gaming things, Q?
I think that's it.
Then it's time to get into shoe news. Oh man, Nardwar, the human serviette, the man who dumbfounds a lot of hip hop stars
I
by break
mean, musicians in general.
musicians in general, but mostly hip hop stars.
Yeah.
Fucking Nardwar is by far one of the best fans to
The man is
honestly
a
meet.
CIA computer, and you can't convince me otherwise.
I wouldn't be surprised if he has like connections because
Something.
he was mentioning from like a small city street that only 8 people had lived on at the time of the rapper growing up, and he's like, "Who the fuck did you talk to?" And the man gets some SB dunks, and man, oh man, do they look just like him. So if you don't know what Nardwuar dresses up in, he usually wears plaid or like heavy corduroy
Gingham.
with heavy gingham or like
Gingham.
heavy
Gingham.
gingham
Gingham.
gingham or heavy denim with interesting cross striping. And they kind of give both of them in both of these really interesting style shoes. They definitely match his style, and I'm very curious if they're going to present a pair of very unique ones to him. I honestly hope that they do. Um, he deserved them, to be frank. Like the man comes up with gifts that are one of a kind, very unique, very limited. Gave Tyler the Creator a 10 copy run of a vinyl that was not even distributed and still managed to find a copy and give it to him. I the man deserves nothing but praise for his investigative but also his very inventive form of uh I guess interview is the best way of putting it. But Swarovski crystals are very both expensive and very shiny. I don't know about looking at these Air Jordan 1 lows that are just bedazzled in these very hard looking. Are they what are they, silicone? They're not actual
I,
diamonds. I know that.
uh,
They're crystal.
plastic. I don't know.
Maybe
I honestly don't know.
so Swarovski crystals, they obviously have something that makes them stand out a little bit more, such as like crystal, like zirconium maybe, but they're a little bit better cut. And so with those, they obviously make it look like they bedazzle a lot of fucking jewelry. They used to do like the New York logo and paint them up in just pure Swarovski crystals and sell it for like $15,000 to $20,000, and people would buy them. These Air Jordan 1 lows are selling for $1,000 in May, and they are heavily, heavily bedazzled. I'm just gonna keep saying the word bedazzled on these because they look nothing but. Oh man, I don't like even the ones that are kind of making up the swoosh look kind of disastrous. Uh, yeah, I don't know about all that for $1,000.
So,
Yeah.
a special glass primarily composed of quartz sand with other ingredients like sodium carbonate and potash melted and shaped to create um, distinctive sparkle and brilliance.
So it's a homemade gem. Okay.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. I guess. And then that's all. Swarovski does do something that no real jeweler does, and they hand smelt everything. So even their jewelry pieces are hand smelted and crafted up and then iced down, and then the gems are placed in. That's the one thing I will give Swarovski is that they're unique building and crafting. But $1,000 for some shoes, you can keep them. Badoo. Something I wasn't really expecting you throwing at me. White Castle Heelys on May
They're
5th.
so blocky.
They are so blocky, but that's supposed to be their design is supposed to be like a half square, half boot, I guess you can call it, with the Heely wheels in the back end. But the White Castle is very fun. May 15th, with the collaboration with Heelys, you can see them at Heelys.com. I did like the little video thing that they had where the White Castle slider goes into the microwave, does a little spin, and out comes the white versions. While they also have a black versions of the Heelys and a little slider on the tongue. Yeah, no, these are super fucking fun looking. I
They're I would not buy them, but they are fun.
I have ridden in Heelys once. My buddy
I've never.
handed me over the Heelys. They were one size too small, but I tried them for a brief minute. I Not my style. Not they would be very fun for a minute, but I would never put the wheel back in, and it would just get real annoying to have big blocky boots. Yeah, but also May 15th is National Slider Day, so maybe visit a White Castle on that day. Badoop.
They're gonna be insane. I bet you.
Crocs.
Mm. Sanrio
Crocs.
Crocs.
Sanrio Crocs. Featuring My Melody as the next up for the Sanrio collaborations. Um, Not really much to talk about on these. It's just they are bright fucking pink and white with My Melody and her flowers and her friend. I forget. I think it translates to
I didn't
aspire,
even.
inspire.
I didn't even know this one's name, and you're telling me that telling me the name right now. So,
That's fair.
the friend.
I believe it's Inspire the Mouse, but I'm not 100%. It's
Like
been
if it's not Hello Kitty or Gretsuko, I don't know the name.
That's fair. But even still, some flowers are all around it. It's a nice bright pink. My Melody is on the backing of these. There it is. And it goes for, I believe, $80. No, $70 for these ones. And they come in men's sizes mostly, which is the funnier part. But and last but not least for the shoe news, also a little bit of apparel stuff over at bullairs.com. We've talked about Bull Airs before. They have very interesting collaborations, such as the Yancey Street Stompers, where if you understand Yancey Street, you know that's where the thing comes from.
I always
And
thought it was Yankee Street. I don't know why my brain always goes to Yankee Street. So yeah, Yancey.
yeah.
Okay.
And so they come in two different styles. This boot style, where it looks like the thing's feet, which is kind of reminiscent of the Astro Boy boots we talked about not too long
Yeah,
ago.
I was thinking the same thing.
But then there's also another style, the slides, which the more affordable but also very much more fun version of the thing's feet, where you can slip them on and slip them off. I would prefer these ones. The only downside of them though is $150 for the slides, $450 I think for the boots. Hang on.
Jeez.
Yeah, $450 for the boots. The Bull Airs, however, are handcrafted. They are made by hand, so everything is hand done. These were crowdfunded, so this campaign status has been etched and already are printing. They are going to be slowly available for re-release. You can go onto the website to ask for notifications when available through email. So that's a plus if you happen to enjoy these. But there's also two other ones that I kind of want to talk about. These Legend of Zelda shoes. Let's go take a look at them. The mixed pair shows off both pairs evenly, which makes me happy. Okay, can I get the image? Oh. So it is very Breath of the Wild and very kind of original tunic. I guess let's just go to the originals, I guess, if that's the way you want to be. Three little hearts on the front, a sling from where the swoosh kind of ends off. On the front has a belt for the ending of the tunic, and then kind of like a fur-lined collar on the.
Hey, I will be right back. Pander.
Gotcha. While I'm pandering, I'm just gonna talk that there's a Ganon Chase, a limited edition one that is blue. I wish I could see the exacting of it, but I would like to see more of the Ganon Chase one. I'm surprised that they included that as kind of a hope you get it kind of thing. You can get it in either one set of each, a mixed set where you get one of each shoe, or a pair of each shoe, which is kind of nice. They have Samurai Pizza Cats. Welcome back. They have Samurai Pizza Cat stuff, which I haven't heard about since I was like 5. But then a little bit further down, we have the Goonies. I am unsure of this big individual here. Can you enlighten me on this individual here on the front of this
I
Goonie
have
shoe?
no idea what's going on there.
Okay. When I saw that, I was like, maybe Quincy will know. But the fact that there's a Goonie stuff, and then one of the favorite tees that I really enjoyed was this Raquel Roar T-shirt where it's just his face from He-Man and the Master of the Universe. I was like, this is adorable. I would wear that one out and about.
Very bright.
There's very bright. There's also a glow in the dark skull and crossbones Bull Airs shirt, Dolores style bomber jacket, uh, DeLorean style the hover boots, or not the hover boots, the future Nikes, but in a much more interesting version of it.
Yeah, that's definitely different.
But they do great runoff ones. And then here is the hover ones, the ones that are like the hoverboard. There we go. That's a better look at them. I think you'd
Those
really
are cool.
like. Yeah. $450 each for those, by the way.
Yeah, no, that's why I don't own like the regular Nikes or anything like that. Like these things are always so expensive.
Yeah, they are. The Bull Airs is a little pricey. They do run sale items every now and again for their overstock or for things that didn't sell too well. But even the sales aren't too much, such as the movies shirt, dancing movies, the jersey, the Buddy Christ one, a lot of
Yeah,
Jay and Silent Bob stuff going for sale. Hmm. A really nice Mallrats button up. Can we? Can I get the zoom in? Oh,
that's cool.
give me the zoom in. I want to read what it says. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned for Sega. Okay. Sure. I guess. I need to rewatch Mallrats. It's been a while.
I just watched it the other night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
it
then
was my favorite for the longest time out of all those. And then Clerks 2 was like I'm torn between Clerks 2 and Mallrats. I still think it might be Mallrats, but I do really love Clerks 2.
Clerks 2 is a good one. I still haven't seen Clerks 3.
Clerks 3 made me cry.
Yeah. But do. Over at the makeup side of things, Game Beauty brings us a Street Fighter 6 limited edition makeup collection featuring palettes, blushes, lipsticks, and a little bit more. Without going into too much detail, if you've played Street Fighter 6 and you have a favorite character, there is a lipstick blend for them. I don't think DLC characters are in there, but no, I take that back. Marissa's in there. Well, maybe it is just a select dozen or so, but there is pretty much one character. Yeah, it looks like that it's one character per thing. So all the characters are here, but one character per thing. Okay. As for the full box set, you get the palettes, the lipsticks, the blushes, the accenting, the what is it? What do they call it? It's a chromatic contender, which I don't know what that involves, but it's a little stick that helps you, I guess, blend it in with the blush to your eyes. I'm not much.
Yeah, we're out of my realm on makeup at this point.
I am out of my realm as well, but they have also done some other things such as the Persona 5 royal stuff, and they're okay looking. They don't exemplify the game like the Street Fighter 6 one did. There's an Attack on Titan one as well, and I like the cases more than the colors, but if you happen to be a fan of Attack on Titan, that one's there as well. But doop. Just making a brief mention. Quincy liked Lorcana trading card game, and
I've never actually played it. I own nothing on it, but I've seen some of the art and think the art is very good.
I also think the art is very good. And a couple of the coming up ones, the sets that are coming up, drew to my interest, such as the Rise of Jafar and the Fabled one that is coming out later on this year, is going to be featuring a Goofy movie and Powerline. So I'm like, they are going to begin incorporating all the extra bits and bobs with all the extra art. And I'm like, if you continue to include all of your actual IPs into a card game, you actually have something. Because I'm not gonna lie or sugarcoat it. Looking at a couple of the cards, I was like, this is Magic, but with less of the keywords. This is a little bit more simplified. And I said,
Magic is confusing as shit, so
"Oh,
that works for me.
you're correct. If I told you I play this and I'm gonna scry, you're gonna be like, I have no idea what that means. But if I throw
Listen,
down,
man, scry on your own time.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But if I put down a card and I say I look at the top card of my deck and I get to decide whether I put that back on the top or put it at the bottom, you understand it fully. So, I mean, keyword versus the full definition of that keyword, sure, fine. But I will admit the art on the cards, fan-fucking-tastic. I've seen a couple of the card sets, and I gotta say, the full art's actually make me want to collect it, but alas, I have nowhere to put them, so... but I do. Oh boy. Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, the vinyl collection, and each one of these vinyls look fucking
That was a
great.
mouthful.
Yeah, it was. Uh, they look fucking fantastic. This 5 LP set comes in this beautiful crate box. And in that crate box comes 5 slip covers of wondrous color, and each of the vinyls match the color on those slip covers. And if anyone knows anyone and they've played Elden Ring for more than 25 minutes, they've heard beautiful music. This is available for pre-order right now. It involves I forget the frenzy guy, but it includes a poster with all of the music on the back that you can either pin up or what have you. It is going to be released later on in spring 2025. They say expected release date is 5/28, but do expect distribution problems because tariff and shipping malfunction has been happening very recently as of the beginning of this year. $150 gets you all 5 of these beautifully orchestrated discs. A side little note, going back over to Expedition 33, they did hum and haw at the idea of a vinyl set for Expedition 33, and I'm here for it. Like, the music is that damn good. A hotel room is dressed up in Godzilla versus King Ghidorah.
I've seen the original Godzilla room, and I was like, "That's great." And so when I heard about this one from Kaiju's Kaiju News, which is a page that I always follow, I was like, "Oh, what's this one going to be like?" I was not prepared for when I saw the image.
Yeah, these ones actually have King Ghidorah's heads popping out, what look to be spitting out either light or a light mist, while you have Godzilla on the opposite side of the room with a light or light mist. It's hard to tell because it looks a little blemished, a little photoshopped up to make it look a lot
I
better.
can't quite tell if it's. I feel like it's probably like just drawing on the back of the wall because that's kind of what it looks like for the Godzilla one. To where if you stand at the right angle, the mouth is breathing fire.
Yeah, like I can see, and then you have little footstools /
Yeah.
seating area that is the buildings.
Yeah, like a seating table area. Yeah.
And then the blankets on the beds are crushed areas. And I'm like, that's kind of adorable. That's really great. This is going to be at Hotel Grace Ryu Shinjuku. And I assume Shinjuku Square on July 1st. And I'm hoping for videos about that time. And I hope it's not too expensive. But dude.
Hopefully not. I know there's one. I think it's the one I saw before that it's the themed one, like I said. But it's to where you can look out the window and see that giant Godzilla head that looks over that can be activated to make noise.
That would be nice. That would be very nice. I would like to have a themed, like there was the Pokemon one that I was like, ooh, this is actually kind of nice looking. It's very bright, very exuberant, but it doesn't scream luxury, if that made sense. It just felt very plain, but in the scaling of Pokemon. I don't know. I would expect a little bit of luxury with the higher price that they were also charging, like I believe $250 a night.
Because you can get people to pay the money when it comes to nostalgia stuff.
That is true. But I'm glad that Funko Pops don't really go too much in price because Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie Funko Pops featuring Ivan Ooze and the 7 Rangers. These ones are the ones just before they change into their exhumed forms, as well as the Green Ranger, which was not a part of that. I guess it was at the very beginning of that movie. I need to go back through that movie.
I haven't watched that movie probably since I was a kid.
I had the VHS, and that VHS was wore the fuck down. I would always skip by the previews and all that, and I would know exactly the timing because we didn't have active fast forward or rewind. So I would have to like press 1, 2, 3, 4, and count. I forget how long, but I would always unpause it, and they would be jumping out of the plane at the very beginning of the movie. And I would just it was like this weird, I guess, autistic sense where it would just click. But these Funko Pops, Funko Pops have gone up a little bit in quality over the last couple of years. I'm done collecting Funko Pops. I'm happy with the collection I have right now. They're all
I don't buy more anymore.
Yeah. But if I did, I would definitely probably lean toward getting the White Ranger and be happy with it. But alas, as I said, I am done collecting them. The Megazord is kind of nice looking. Ivan Ooze still looks good looking. But speaking of Funko Pops, this one actually kind of dug a little knife into my kidney because Deadpool always has already a few collaboration style costumes, I guess you can call them, where he looks like another thing, or he's eating something, or is dead. And this one has 4 new ones. One that makes him look like the Ghost of Christmas Past. One that makes him look like
No, that's Marley. That's just the one that warns him.
Oh, that's just Marley.
That's one telling him the ghosts are coming. He's got the locks on him and the bandage over his head.
It's been so long since I've even referenced the Christmas Carol. So thank you.
I gotta watch the Muppet one every year, man.
You know what? That should be a tradition for me as well because I haven't watched any, but I need to watch more Muppets.
It's the best. It's the best version of that story.
I don't mind the Disney one. The Disney one gets dark though.
No, the Disney one's enjoyable. The best one is the Muppet one.
A pirate.
I also really like Scrooged.
Scrooge is a good take on it with Bill Murray. Yeah. A pirate one where he's holding who am I gonna call Dead Parrot, which is a Deadpool masked parrot, a Don Quixote-ish looking conquistador style Deadpool, and the best for last, a Cthulhu pool, a Deadpool Cthulhu, if you will.
The Cthulhu pool is the one that I got excited about the most out of the set. That's the teaser or the starting image on this post.
Yeah.
That led to me going ooh.
And I'm not gonna lie or sugarcoat it. If I were to do one more, that would probably be the one more. I
feel like this would be the one time I go through and I buy one of the giant ones.
If it was in a giant form, yeah, I would lean $45 for that because of what the giant forms usually go for, unless they don't sell for a while. Other than that, yeah, the other 3 can kind of. I'm big on Deadpool, but not that big on Deadpool. Like I got his 250th issue, but I don't think I would go for any of these. But that's all I got for today. Anything else from you, Q?
That's it.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and do the rundown. Thank you guys for joining us. Remember to check the links in the description for a good old Zenny. They have buy 2, get free shipping. They have very inexpensive IQ lenses as well as the blue light ones. Buy any of the 2 frames, get free shipping.
They've also got ones meant for night driving to reduce lens glare.
That is true. Good job, Q. The Humble Bundle, of course, help out charities while also getting a few really good perks. Grabbing Hero Forge just in case you want to build some figures for your next tabletop game. No, nothing new on that one, alas. They have some new bits and pieces for if you're wanting to construct your very unique character. Like now you can have a second character standing next to yours just in case you have a friend that always stays by your side.
Nice.
check out Q socials over on Threads or over on TikTok. Have you posted any of the new TikToks yet?
No.
No. Fair enough. Well, hopefully I'll post on all that. Check out my socials over on Twitter. I've been reblogging a lot of really good art, a lot of good wrestling. I reblogged a whole ass match between Takeshita and El Phantasmo that was fan-fucking-tastic. Go and check those out if you happen to like wrestling or animation bits. And at the end of days, at the end of weeks, at the end of months, at the end of years, please, for the fucking love of God, love one another. It is free to do. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.